Welcome to Capsized, a Silver Lake podcast talking about weekly school-wide updates, hosted by
Connor,
Cass,
and Messina. Thank you, Silver Lake Library and community, for making this possible. We couldn't have done it without Miss Matthias.
we're all looking at you. Messina.
Yeah, right?
I see you.
All right. Wow, this is so high. Cool.
Great.
Welcome to Capsized, a Silver Lake podcast discussing weekly school-wide updates, hosted by
Connor,
Cass,
and Messina and our special guest,
Mrs. Pratt.
Thank you, Silver Lake Library and community, for making this possible. We couldn't have done it without Miss Matthias. Wow, almost forgot the intro. It's been a few weeks.
we're diving right in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's dive in. I always forget the
Let's
catchphrase.
dive
Okay,
in.
I
Read
I see what
across.
you're doing there.
Yeah, right. Then we have to see you on the flip side, which is like it's
Exactly.
capsized.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Read Across America Week. Create and celebrate a nation of diverse readers. On the 3rd is Wildlife Day. On the 7th is National Create Cereal. Nope. National
Create
Cereal
cereal.
Day. It's just cereal. It's not create. Wish it was create.
I mean, I'd
That'd
make
be
my
cool.
own. cereal.
On the 10th is Harriet Tubman Day. On the 11th is Inventors Day. Music in our school month in our schools is just like the national thing. They try to like
Yeah.
promote music and stuff like that. National Craft Month, National Women's History Month, which is like all over everything right now. That's all I
Yes.
see.
Women's
is cool.
History Month?
Yeah, because like a lot of facts and stuff, which is really cool to
Ah.
hear about. And Youth Art Month. Wow, today's not an English day.
It's okay.
No, it's a U art.
You Art Month. Positivity Project is up in the event entrance at Silver Lake, which was a bunch of sticky notes that you'd write on, and people wrote positive notes and stuff like that. Best Buddies had their what's it called?
Bocce?
Yeah, their bocce
Bocce.
tournament. I heard that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Skills USA, Speech Club, they're all running up again, and then
Donovan retiring from boys baseball.
baseball.
Basketball.
Basketball?
Yep.
Never mind.
I've never met him. I don't think so.
He just announced it, so it's like fresh news that
Oh, wow.
Coach Donovan announced that this was going to be his last season as the basketball coach for the boys team.
Wow.
Oh, good
Okay.
for him. How long has he been doing that?
Years.
Wow.
I don't know how many years, but he's definitely a long-standing coach.
It's gonna be sad
Wow.
when Darsh does that. He's been here for a while.
Yeah.
That's so sad. I hope I'm
Yeah.
gone. I don't want to deal with that.
I hope I'm graduated by the time you leave.
Yeah.
That'd be so sad. I don't want to like have a year of the track without Darsh. That'd be like, I don't know. It wouldn't feel right.
No.
Like your last year and he's just not there.
That'd be so sad.
That would be so. That would be.
I think he has about 5 more years in him. I'll give him 5 more years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
After
yeah.
that, I don't know what he's doing.
Imagine he's listening to this and he's like, 5 years? I was planning to retire next year.
He's like, I'm done now.
Yeah. I'm over.
You didn't
Bye.
get the memo?
Yeah. He's like, you didn't hear the news? No. Yeah, Darsh, if you're listening, I hope you stay for at least until I graduate.
It's
All
a
right.
requirement.
It's a requirement. You actually have no choice. What else? Interview. So we have a guest today.
Yes.
We do.
Hello.
Hello.
It's about the 14th in a row. Many more to come. Many
Oh, yeah.
more to come.
We have a list.
Yes, people are trying to get on. I don't know. What can I say? It's the #1 Silver Lake podcast.
I mean,
It's the only Silver Lake podcast.
but I mean, hey, it's number
number
one.
one.
So
Details.
Exactly.
it must be good, guys.
It's not false advertisement. We're just leaving out details. So,
So the guest we have today is Miss Pratt, the assistant principal, and we had some questions to ask you.
I am ready.
you want to start them?
I'll start.
Start from the top and go
Right.
down.
All right. So a question I wanted to ask, and then we have some information about you, and we just want you to talk about it a little and see what we can get accurate. But we'll start off with questions. One of them is, can you tell us about your journey to your current position, which is the assistant principal, with your school?
Sure, absolutely. So, are you interested in hearing just about my Silver Lake journey, or like my journey, my career journey that brought me to Silver Lake? And
Yeah, I say what,
Yeah,
what got you
what
here?
got you
Wow.
here? Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to back up to probably college, to like my undergraduate studies. So I attended college out in Western Massachusetts at Mount Holyoke College. So I'll give a little shout out since it is National Women's History Month. It is
Yeah.
an all-women's
Nice.
college.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And it was the first all-women's college in the United States.
Wow.
And I studied history. Now I sound like a historian. I studied history and education there. So I prepared to do high school teaching. And I completed my student teaching while I was there out in South Hadley, Massachusetts. And then decided that at the age of 21, I wasn't sure that I wanted to start my teaching career just then.
Yeah.
I was very excited about like entering the real world in adulthood, but I wasn't sure if it was like the right fit for me at that time.
Yeah.
So it was a hard decision, but I decided to kind of put it on hold for a little bit. And I
Mhm.
always knew somewhere in my heart that I would go back to teaching. So then I joke that I like waitressed like 8 days a week for about a year.
Gosh.
Yeah, like I worked and I worked. I painted houses. That's just kind of like a fun fact.
Fun
about me.
fact.
My
A
favorite
little
job
side
ever
hobby.
was that I painted colleges or houses throughout college.
Mhm.
And then I ended up applying to law school. So I went to law
Mhm.
school.
Mhm.
I worked in a local law firm that was a family business during the day, and went to law school at night. I commuted into Boston and did that anywhere from 3 to 4 nights a week.
Yeah, it's on our post-it note. We got
Yeah.
lawyers.
Yeah.
here.
Blame it on me. Okay.
Did our
I went
research.
I went to law school. And then when I graduated and I took the bar exam, which was by far the most challenging test of my life, other than
Mhm.
being a parent, maybe. So I practiced law, and I also did some work so that I was a mediator. So one of the things, I think you guys probably know me well enough. I don't know about your listeners, but I'm a pretty nice person, and I like to work with people and sort of roll up my sleeves and try to resolve problems. And
Mhm.
so even though I enjoyed my work in the courtroom and advocating for clients, one of the things that I found most rewarding was working with like multiple parties
Mhm.
to come to a resolution of whatever their issue was. So I practiced both law and I mediated for several years. And then I got married and started my family. And one of the things that I was doing was that once a month, I would volunteer my time in Plymouth, and I would go down to the courthouse, and I would be what was called lawyer of the day. And you set up in a little room very similar to this, and people came and asked some questions. Just either they couldn't afford a lawyer,
Mhm.
or they didn't know where to start, and they needed some guidance. And so you just would kind of help as much as you can.
Mhm.
And before long, I realized that was absolutely my favorite day of the month. And I was like, why do I like this so much? And then I'm like, oh, I'm teaching. I'm teaching people about the law. I'm teaching them about the process. I'm helping them to sort of uncover information
Mhm.
and then ultimately, feel empowered enough to make a decision.
Mhm.
And then I said, you know what? I think I'm ready. And so I ended up looking for jobs and coming to the classroom. And so I feel very fortunate. Not a day goes by that I'm not happy that I landed at Silver Lake. And I taught here in the social studies department for...
You and Mr. Blatt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And Mrs. Gill.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, all three of us.
All the
Right,
historians
so must be
running the
something in the
school.
water in the social studies department. So I taught here, I can't remember off the top of my head if I was 5 or 6 years in the classroom. And I started a master's degree in educational leadership. And then it just so happened to open up that there was like a transition where Mrs. Gill became principal. Mr. Blatt switched from being one assistant principal to the one that is like the other role, and that left an opening. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And I ended up being accepted for the position. So this is now my 4th year in the assistant principal role. And I
Wow.
absolutely love it. So that was kind of a long-winded story, but that's how I got right
I
there.
like that. That's cool.
That's a good story,
All
though.
right.
Very.
Well,
Well,
anyways.
I need to mediate.
Yeah, nothing scary about your principal being a lawyer.
Yeah.
Nothing about that is scary at all. We heard you have a new dog.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm so in love with him.
What type of dog?
A golden retriever.
Ooh,
Aw,
nice.
what's his name?
His name is Luke.
Is he like
Aw.
pure golden retriever, or is
He's
it a
pure
mix?
golden retriever.
Wow.
Do
Oh,
not
is-
tell my
is-
husband or my sons, but he is the most handsome man in my life.
Is he one of those like fluffy golden retrievers, or is he like one of those
The shaved down ones.
Yeah,
Not shaved down. He is stocky. He is only 7 months, and I think he's just about 70 pounds. I mean, he's huge.
Wow.
I lovingly say, like, he is a beast. He is a big boy, but with a puppy personality. So he's like
That's
sweet as
awesome.
can be.
Oh, that's cute.
on the sticky note says family and beach.
Ugh.
How's the family? How's the
How's the
beach?
Just like like my two favorite things in the world. So the family's great. I have a family. I have 3 kids. Lucy is my daughter. She's in 6th grade, and then I have 2 boys, Kellen and Noah. And they both have. Noah is turning 8 tomorrow.
Ooh.
Nice.
And
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
He will appreciate that. I bring that up in our check-in tonight at dinner. The Capsized crew says happy birthday. And then my older son, Kellen, just turned 10 last week. So the boys are like 2 years and 2
Wow.
days apart.
Nice.
Yep. And we live in Situate right by the beach. And I
Ooh.
do. I love the beach.
Ooh.
I like to go to the beach all year long.
Golden
so,
Retriever's gonna like that.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah.
does. Yep. So Luke and I have been taking some long walks during this pandemic, collecting sea glass and throwing balls. And in the summer, I camp out with the kids and just
That's
soak
cool.
up the.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
I
Have
wish
you
I
ever
could-
camp out on the beach?
I have before. We don't camp on like the beach in my neighborhood. I
Yeah,
think the neighbors might think.
that's weird. They'd be like, "Oh, there go the neighbors again. They're sleeping on the beach in the tent."
But my family actually loves camping, so we do. Like last summer, we
That's
camped in Maine, way up in northern Maine, on like ponds and lakes and things. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
But I
cool.
do. I love the outdoors. I love the beach.
I love
I love
camping.
camping so much.
And fishing. I gotta take you
Fishing.
fishing.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm taking
I love
Cass fishing.
too. All right, you can invite me back and we can talk about some more.
Yeah. After we go on our fishing trip, we'll have you back on
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about
I'm
it.
hoping to go to Colorado soon, so I can come back and tell you about my Colorado
Ooh.
fishing adventures. First time I ever tried fly fishing was in Colorado.
Ooh,
Ooh.
okay. Fly fishing sounds interesting. I've never been fly fishing, but
I
Am I?
cannot do that.
No.
well, then I guess we're not fly fishing.
It's hard, but it's fun.
All right, Cash, do you
Yeah.
have any questions?
I want to go back to like the school thing. So, what do you find is the most rewarding part of your day at
Ooh.
Silver Lake?
I very much like working with the entire school community. I mean, I think that students are at the heart of everything we do. And so I love my daily interactions with students. But just as much, I love working with the adults in our building, the teachers, all of the staff, whether it's, custodians or the paraprofessionals that provide support in classrooms, the cafeteria workers. I mean, I think everybody here, we all pitch in and we all work to make this place a great place. And I really love the people in the community we have.
Glad you didn't say
Yes.
leaving, because
I
that'd be
know.
so sad.
Leaving.
The best day when I shut the door.
Yes, the best part of the day is when everybody's gone.
Oh, no. That could not be farther from the truth.
I feel like maybe, but like in a sense, it means like you had a good day. You would have
Yeah.
stayed.
Yeah.
Depends on how you take that. Best part of my day, leaving.
Best part of my day, getting in my car and going.
especially on Thursdays. That means
No.
the podcast.
Oh,
so-
yeah.
See, mine varies. It depends on the day, depends on what I do throughout the day.
See, now Connor's lying. His
I-
favorite part is also leaving.
It used to be leaving. When I was younger, just the way school worked, just, the type of things I did throughout the day, I was not even half as much involved in it as I am now.
Yeah.
So I did not like it at all. Everybody would ask me my favorite part of the day, and I'd say the bus ride home and being home. And that was it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I like my study first period because it's in here. So I'm just like always in here. This is my home. Like this is
Yes.
like my place now. I don't know. I rearranged the whole room like 5
can tell it
times.
looks-
Already.
This
Yeah.
is a good setup.
The wires are organized. So if you ever come in here, it's all my work. So.
Oh, yeah.
Looking good.
We had a massive TV here, but it's gone now.
Yeah. My favorite part of the day is not actually leaving. Okay, I was just being, I like leaving. My favorite part of the day is probably Miss Dennis's class, and I don't know if she knows this, but Miss Dennis, your class is my favorite class.
All you get the teachers, Cat, how could
God,
you?
Cass, what the heck? But no, Miss Dennis is really nice, and she is always like, she brings this energy to class that I'm like, yes, I vibe with that. I like that.
Mhm.
I'm also drained because since the schedule's not rotating, it's I have
Yeah.
English last every Thursday, Friday. So it's just I like English class, but then I have it after math, and it's just it's not. I can't go to math and then English and just be fine with life.
It's the same thing for me with chemistry. I have English just before the end of the day, so I guess I'm not as tired, but it's I don't know. She's she puts herself out there, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, cool. And she's like, I accept you. And I'm like, great, thank you.
That is an amazing feeling to have in a classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Because I don't like asking teachers questions. Like I get nervous, so I like don't really talk a lot. But Miss Dennis makes me feel like I could go up.
I
and
think
ask
it's
her
so
whatever I
funny,
wanted.
like the different like just the different like personality traits that each like hallway has. Of like the English teachers are like best friends. Like you know
Yes.
they hang out out of
Miss
school.
Leonti, I had her for 2 years. She was my favorite.
They all
teacher
like they're
for 2
so
years.
like fun, like so just like fun, and they're like so energetic. And then like I feel like the history teachers are so quick with like the funny comeback of like, well, you didn't do your homework last week. Like it's just like it's like I don't want to do the classwork. Well, you didn't do your homework, so
Well, you did.
it's like they're so quick with that. It just makes it like just more fun than just kind of like a teacher that's just kind of like sits there and like doesn't do much.
Yeah.
But English teachers, they vibe.
English teachers are great.
I
Yeah.
would agree. History teachers are wicked funny.
They are. Like when even English like an English teachers like they're funny, and like so the like science teachers, they're just so like I think they're just like so chill.
Yeah.
And they're really like they know exactly. And maybe it's easier just because it's science, so it's so much easier for them just to explain stuff that's like
Yeah. That is
because
like,
it's so like baseline that it's like, oh well, you just heard that wrong, and it's like an easy
Yeah.
fix.
there's no like jokes or like
Yeah.
there's no like
But it's still a
you didn't
fun
do your
class.
homework. Yeah, it's
So
still
it's like-
fun. Don't get me wrong. I
Earth
don't hate
science, I vibe with earth science, pretty good.
Chemistry's pretty good too.
Yeah, for some reason I started like using the words that I learned in class like I'm actually learning something. It's like what?
Oh wow.
It's like it's a cold front. They're like a what? And I'm like, I learned that in class.
I got that word from
I got that
Earth
word
science.
from Miss Watson. Probably the last question is if you had a superpower, what would it be? We heard you've been planning this one for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have been waiting for
You
this.
formulated
I had
preparing.
a meeting with Mrs. Mathias earlier today, and like as I walked in, I'm like, I hope they asked me that. Time travel.
Time
That's-
travel.
yeah.
Why?
Yes, so that I could like.
Well, you're the historian, so you'd probably
Yes,
be like,
right.
I want to go back and I want to see everything.
You'd be a great history teacher then, because you could
I
really
know.
like put it in
Yeah,
there.
but
Did
also,
George
like-
Washington really cut down that cherry tree? You'd be able to disprove it or not.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Eat some cherries. With
But would
me.
you be like, would you say it? Like, would you tell people you're time travel, or would you kind of just keep on the down low, not mess with history, just kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah. So
vibe?
all right. So like a few things. Like I think if I were to go back to like a time period to like just sort of see what it was like, I would be like covert. I'd just be like,
Yeah, I wouldn't touch
Yeah,
like,
anything.
change of clothes,
No,
throw on
no.
my cloak, and
Yeah.
like blend in.
Mm.
But then you could go back, like say like you had like somebody in your family you always heard about, like you're amazing, great so and so.
Yeah.
How neat would it be to like get like one more like chance with that person or
Yeah.
meet somebody? right?
Yeah.
So like I think you could also like you could go forward a little, although I wouldn't like want to alter my existence or anything.
No.
But I put a lot of thought into this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
think
sounds
that's
cool,
cool though.
though.
Visiting like past like ancestors or like
Yeah, it's
family
pretty
members.
cool.
Like my great grandfather, he came over from Ireland and he was like he stole some guy's last name and then he came over to America.
Didn't we talk about this last podcast?
Yeah.
too?
It was like his real name was Lundquist, and then he came over and it was he stole this like guy's name. He was like Redmond or something, and I was like, that sounds really cool. I wonder what he's like. But
Wow.
I totally hear you.
How was the podcast today?
This was amazing.
Well, thank you.
Exceeded my expectations.
We'll have to
and
get
as
you
I
back
said,
on it.
Yes, I will
'cause
come back once you get through your long list of
people.
potential
Oh
guests.
yes.
You let me know.
Our next one probably should be we record the 11th, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're having Stefaniak on, which is the math
Stefaniak.
teacher.
Just a reminder,
I
the
have never
11th
had
is that an early release day? I know there was.
There are no early release.
Yeah, so
All right. Yeah.
Stefaniak should be next. We have a long list of people. We still have to go over the history of Silver Lake because I've done so much
Yes.
research on that. And I'm so excited to finally say
I
it.
feel like a lot of people don't know the history, and I'm like,
Yeah, but like there's so much more. There was like a sneak peek. There was a resort on the actual like Silver Lake, and then there was like a ship, like
A
a
what?
steamboat thing that went down. Yeah. You gotta stay tuned. Yeah.
I guess so. We'll
That's
find
pretty
out in the
cool.
It's
later
pretty
episodes.
cool. Have you heard it? Have you heard about the history?
I've heard some of it, but that
Yeah.
the steamship.
Well, as a historian yourself,
Yes.
your interest must be piqued.
Yeah,
Tuned in. I will
it's
tell you,
very-
I checked out past episodes, and I will tune into that.
Nice. That's, yeah, I know. Mr. Funny's like, I downloaded all of them. And I'm like, he's a super fan.
Well, hello, Miss Stefaniak.
Yeah, Miss Stefaniak. Yeah, you're listening. I hope you're driving safe because you always listen to us when you're driving home. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, be careful, please.
She's gonna love that. Shout that out on that. All right. Well, that was the end of. I don't even know what episode.
9.
No, it's episode 10. You posted the thing for episode 9 already on Instagram.
I thought you said
I didn't
15.
post it yet.
Yeah, you
Dude, I don't even know.
No.
Anyways, that
So
was
wait,
the
when I
end of
wanted to-
podcast number whatever.
It's either 9 or 10.
Okay.
9 or 10.
Whatever.
It's the number.
The
There's a
number.
number. There's a blank space. Well, thanks to listening to podcast blank space.
Yep.
Thank you, Miss
Oh my
Pratt.
god.
Thank you,
Big
Miss
thank
Pratt.
to Miss
Thank you for
Pratt.
having me. This has been a
No
blast.
problem.
A perfect way to end my day.
Nice.
That's
And
good.
see you on the flip side. And
See you
she's
on the
taking a
flip
picture of
side.
us. Smile.
Wait, hold on. I want to exit. I'm not like a scrub.